How do I tactfully tell my 35M in-laws, 60F, I don't want them over for Thanksgiving? I always have fun with my father-in-law. He's great, supportive, chill, low maintenance, down for anything we plan, and generally a good person. His wife is absolutely insane, overbearing, breaks boundaries, has zero social awareness, curses at us, makes rude comments, acts like she is our mom, etc. etc. I've given her like 3 different chances, and she continues to create drama out of nothing. My sweet wife got a message from her dad that they would love to come over for Thanksgiving. Just your dad? Me? No, she wants to come too. Her? No, me. Okay, then you tell them. How do I relay this message without being a jerk, even though it seems unavoidable that the truth is I don't like her? Give me the soft skills answer, like you're replying to a sensitive email in Outlook and your manager is CC'd. Cold sweat smile. Edit. I took the "we are enjoying our time off at home and not hosting anyone for Thanksgiving this year" approach. It is technically true, and I don't have to go into details as to why, me not liking his insane new wife. No amount of softness will matter with a personality that's insane and overbearing. You can't sell the dad as welcome and she isn't without offending her. The father isn't likely to back you up either because he has to deal with her. You want him to leave his wife alone for Thanksgiving while he eats with his daughter and her family? You can choose to have neither come over, if the wife is willing. We just want a quiet Thanksgiving together this year. Or go out for Thanksgiving in a middle location between you both. Dinner only. If they can accept not a long visit? We're having a quiet, just us Thanksgiving this year. You want a way to tell her that her husband is invited, but she is not, without hurting her feelings or setting her off. But this does not exist. If you insist on inviting him, you have to accept one of 2 bad options. You anger, hurt her, or you invite her. Oh, I'm so sorry, but we already made plans to go to our friend's home for Thanksgiving. Your wife should not be passing this off to you. You two discussed and determined they were not welcome for Thanksgiving, but she needs to handle her parents in the same way you'd be expected to handle yours. Tell them you either 1. Want to have a quiet Thanksgiving this year. 2. Haven't determined your plans yet but have already decided you won't be hosting anything, or 3. We're planning to insert other plans here. Only use this if it is genuine. Don't lie just to avoid them. Why isn't your spouse doing this? How do I, 23M, get my mom, 50F, to stop rotting my daughter's 5 brain? How do I, 23M, get my mother, 50F, to stop showing my kid brainrot content when she babysits my daughter? Some bad decision-making in my teenage years lead to me being a single father when I was 17. I've been working 2, sometimes 3, jobs since to take care of her and pay for our apartment, and despite some stuff that happened when she found out I had gotten a girl pregnant, my mom has taken a big part in helping me take care of her. When my daughter turned 4, I started showing her educational TV. Mostly classic PBS Kids shows, and some that I grew up with, Between the Lions and Fetch with Ruff Ruffman, if anyone remembers. I have been very careful in avoiding a lot of the stuff that could be considered brain rot. Cocomelon and Skibbity Toilet are the 2 big ones I'm trying to avoid for now. I've made it known that I don't want my daughter to have a phone or tablet until she's older, so when I'm watching her, we read, draw, or play with toys. My mother is very different, and is more than happy to let my daughter sit in front of her personal tablet, or put on whatever slop comes up when you search up kids videos on YouTube. I've talked to my mother multiple times about it, and I've made it known that I would prefer if she was more active when it came to playing with my daughter, but she hasn't changed anything. My final straw was when my daughter came home singing the Skibbity Toilet song, and maybe it was because I was frustrated or I had a long day, but I cried a little because I felt so disrespected. Anytime I've ever brought it up with my mom, she said that she's not causing any harm, and that she was perfectly capable raising me to adulthood and I was only a little bit of a fuck-up. I'm not really sure what to do now. I know this is a dumb thing to get so pressed over, and ultimately, my mom is right that this is harmless, but I want her to at least step up the type of stuff she's showing my kid. I can't afford to lose her as a babysitter, but I don't know how to talk to her about this. I feel like the people in this comment section have forgotten some of the more disturbing children's YouTube videos that can pop up. Subscribing to safe channels and putting together a playlist might be helpful. It may be better to frame your worries less as not wanting you let daughter to watch dumb annoying videos, still valid, and more as avoiding dangerous videos. It's not as common of a thing anymore, but YouTube has a history of kids' content being weirdly sexual. I can understand your concern. Cocomelon has been proven to negatively affect developing brains, but agree that there are alternatives that are better for your child. Bluey, Wiggles, Yo Gabba Gabba, Sesame Street etc. are more educational. Can you create a YouTube profile for your daughter and subscribe to all the good ones so your mom can just flip to the subscribed channels and scroll through that instead of the suggested rubbish? It might be a better option for you all with no one getting upset. I'm a teacher and I'm here to tell you that you are not overly concerned, overreacting. The kids who watched all the brain rot or were iPad babies have horrible attention spans, can't spell, and have worse reading comprehension. They aren't at grade level for a lot of things. Developing the imagination and brain connections through activities is crucial right now for her, and video websites like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube kill the imagination stations in our brains. I'd try a toy computer that has educational content. Offline and with fun activities. Leapfrog or something. Okay, so far the advice has been shit. You can absolutely dictate what your kid does or doesn't watch. It's not like you are a hardline no-screen parent. You have a list of acceptable things for her to watch and a list of unacceptable things. You have legit concerns, so don't feel like overreacting. You are absolutely not. Just came here to say this cause there are already plenty of great suggestions. You are a great dad, which is super impressive given her age and the fact that you were a teen dad. Is this considered cheating in anyone else's eyes? 26 female and 27 male. Just found out that my boyfriend of 1.5 years was paying hundreds of dollars to OnlyFans women the entirety we were in a long-distance relationship and before we moved in together. 8 months of OnlyFans, mind you, this was something he was doing before we started dating. But the fact it continued during this makes me actually sick to my stomach. I'm okay with porn, I watch it sometimes too. But paying $20, $60 at a time for content is just as bad as physically cheating for me. Him going out of his way to pay to see a specific person do whatever it is she did. I'm waiting for him to come home so I can question because I'm heartbroken. After we moved in together, he used the service once. But he also lost his job and we found out we were pregnant, so I mean, if there's a time to stop, would be then. Just the fact it was going on while we were together, I can't shake the feeling of disgust and anger. There's lots of free sites out there, dude. Why pay hundreds of dollars? I'm not understanding. How am I supposed to sleep with this man, thinking every time he closes his eyes he sees her? Or is willingly imagining her? Only reason he stopped, I'm sure, is because I started getting access to his bank account. I thought we had something good. He is the most loving, honest, loyal, understanding man I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. Just to find out this ruins my whole image of him. I DK what to do or think. Porn is one thing, but for him to give money and interact with specific women regularly without you knowing can definitely count as cheating, and it's not something I'd ever be okay with. Some people have said that he might not have known, and that is true, but there's a reason why he wasn't super open about it at first. I think we let too many things slide and use the "men are clueless" excuse. Would absolutely be cheating in my relationship. Yes, I consider OnlyFans cheating. I'm already really on the fence about my watching porn. OnlyFans subscriptions are an immediate no and an immediate breakup. I don't tolerate that in my relationships and find it incredibly disrespectful. Not cheating though, since that's usually a mutual thing. However, I expressed this boundary right away with my and they are more than happy to oblige me. I could see if I never expressed it before, and then found out, allowing some grace. Cheating can be anything you wouldn't do in front of your partner. Cheating is doing anything your partner would not approve of, to the point you do it behind their back, hide it, lie about it. Have a talk about your thoughts, feelings and concerns. If you cannot come to an understanding and agreement, then you will have to reevaluate the relationship. If the content is personalized, then it is 100% cheating. If it is just to access a service, it's a gray area. Is it any different than paying for a subscription to Playboy, or something similar? I think you need to find out if the content he is viewing is personalized to him in any way or just pay-per-view to the content. Then you need to decide if him spending money on porn is something you consider cheating. Boyfriend, 26M, handcuffed me, 22F, to the bed against my will? English isn't my first language, so I apologize for any mistakes. Too long did not read. Boyfriend handcuffed me to the bed to stop me from going out while being sick. So this happened last week. We lived together and in the morning I, 22 female, started to feel rather sick. I did a COVID test at home because I really needed to go to my college classes. Especially, this one was extremely important for an essay that you have to write during the break. The test turned out negative, but I had a fever and was feeling rather bad. My boyfriend, 26 male, started a discussion with me that I shouldn't go and we argued back and forth. My plan was to just go to this one class and then go back home. When I started to go out, he put me on the bed and cuffed one of my hands to the bedpost. We sometimes just use the handcuffs during intimacy in bed. I told him to let me go and started to scream at him, but he just let me scream alone in the room until I calmed down. He works for his family's business, so he could just work from home and didn't go to the office that day. I just fell asleep after 5 minutes, because I was so exhausted and in a lot of pain, from the cold. He took care of me and cooked me soup and tea. In the evening I felt more horrible than before and I even needed his help to go to the bathroom. He didn't use the handcuffs again because I was so weak. His brother, 33M, who is a doctor, came to check on me, nothing serious, and I stayed in bed for the next few days. Now, I'm healthy again, but I don't know how to feel about this situation. I know that it was irresponsible that I wanted to go to this class. But on the other hand, I'm angry at him for taking my right to choose away. He had good intentions, I know that, but still I don't think that your intentions always justify your action. He said that I did act extremely irresponsible in the past considering my well-being with flus or stress in university and often pushed past my limits. I told him that I felt kinda violated, because what he did is technically illegal in my country. He told me that he's sorry, but that he would do it again if I do something that could harm me or my health again. Now, I don't know how to handle this situation. He never was abusive or anything before. He treats me good and helps me in school, but when I think back about this situation I have a bad feeling in my stomach. My friends thinks it was alright since he meant well and I was only handcuffed for a short amount of time. Later, I had my phone too and could have called anyone. It's more his answer that is bothering me, and that I'm not sure how to proceed from here. What your boyfriend did is wrong on so many levels. He clearly tied you to the bed without your consent despite you literally screaming. You need to run away from him and not look back. He never was abusive or anything before. He is now. Is this troll bait? You got handcuffed and you're wondering what to do. Leave, get out, run and do not look back. You need to get away from this sociopath, and also I think you need new friends, because the fact that they haven't been begging you to leave him over this is crazy. Please go find a safe place to stay without him, immediately. Dude, and he said he'd do it again? He did the wrong thing, full stop. On a side note, you also need to consider how your actions would affect others in the future. Do you want to give anyone else the sickness experience you had? Because that's what going out would do.